Hey everybody, welcome back or welcome to Knit with Lovergaard's knitting podcast. This is a place all about knitting, my knitting, where I take you through what I am finished with, working on, thinking about picking up. You know the drill. This is just a regular podcast, so let's get to it. The lighting is not that great today because today of all days, it's decided to be cloudy, overcast. Possibly we might even get rain. It hasn't rained here for 23 days now, something like that. It's been the longest period without rain for 20 years. And we could use some rain. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that the lighting might not be just the greatest. Anywho, I am going to start with my finished projects. So, I thought before I started, I really wouldn't have that much to show you, but it turns out I actually do have a couple of things. As always, when the summer kicks in and the weather gets warmer, my knitting mojo just goes out the window. I think it's actually been better this year, mostly because I knew I could recognize the feeling of it and get ahead of it. So as soon as I started feeling like not having the urge to pick up my knitting, I was like, okay, let's change this up. So a lot of my works in progress are just still works in progress. I gave myself permission to put them on the shelf and leave them there till the autumn. So you won't be seeing my lace and fade boxy today. That's put on hold. I've given myself permission to not work on my blanket over the summer. But I have worked on it anyways, but I just given myself permission to say you don't need to do a full stripe in the 3 months of summer we get here. And just that feeling of giving myself the permission to not work on stuff has given me the urge to work on other stuff. So actually, I think I've been doing pretty well. But let's take a look. Okay, so finished projects. The first thing I got done was my socks for May, a Lonely Sock Ladies sock challenge this year. I knitted these socks from the toe up, and I haven't used any of the contrast. It's all self-striping yarn. So I started at the toe, and this is I don't even remember what heel it was, but just some sort of a boomerang heel. I think I did a German short row one, if I remember correctly. They're shorties. I wear my socks in summer as well, at least like inside in the morning, and I love having the shorties in the summer months. So they're just like plain vanilla. I just tried to add like a slip stitch pattern when the color changed, like when a new stripe started, but I wasn't very consistent with it. So yeah, it's not the best, but I still like the sock and it fits really well. I do have two of them. The reason they're not both on blockers is because I have also finished my June socks, and there are two as well. Well, they're almost finished. Anyways, I haven't woven in the ends. I haven't sewn up my holes. These socks are by Tanja Steinbach, something like that, a German designer, and they are a free pattern on Ravelry called Summer Sneaker Socks with a ruffle. The colorway is a rainbow colorway from Lonely Sock Lady. She had her Pride update because June is Pride Month, and I thought it was fitting to do my rainbow socks with a ruffle, and they even have like a picot edge. You can't really tell, but it's there. And it's a shorty as well, because I like that. And these can go in my sandals. And I can't wait to wear them. I think they're just gorgeous. I really love them. But yeah, still need to weave in the ends. But they count as a finished project, I would think. But yeah, the pattern, I wouldn't even really refer to it as a pattern. It's more like a recipe. It's very basic, like the description of how you do the this is a double knitted, or not double knitted, folded over cuff, and the ruffle is fine, but it's very much like, then you put in a heel, then you knit the foot according to pattern, then finish with the toe. It doesn't really say how to do the heel or the toe. So that's like left up to you. So if you haven't ever knit socks before, I wouldn't recommend this pattern, but if you are an experienced sock knitter, go for it. It's great. These are cuffed down, and I put in an afterthought heel, which is usually not my favorite, but they actually do fit quite well, because I added in extra rows between decreases. So my heel is longer than if I just did like one row of knit, one row of decreases. So yeah, turned out really well. And I love the socks, so I can't wait to finish it. The weave in the ends. Can't wait to wear it. So that was my May and June socks for Lona's sock challenge. And then I knitted this lovely tee, which is Nille's sommerbluse. Nille is a Danish podcaster and knitwear designer. She started designing these tops, and she's just done a skirt as well. She has a long sleeve one as well. She has one where the pattern is only on the top. I think this one also has some of the like, it's a clover detail on the bottom, but not on the sleeves. I think the other one has on the sleeves as well. I might have to say, like, this is an ad, something, because I received the pattern as a gift from Nille. She won my giveaway last time, and she wanted to say thank you, so she sent me this pattern. So I had to knit it up, and I knitted it in the yarn I won from Danish yarn store and online store called Knit by Heart, and they or she had submitted some yarn for our 50 Fabulous when she held her knit-a-thon, and I won this yarn. This is Lana Grossa. It's called Secatone, something like that. And it's 100 grams, runs 340 meters. So it's a bit thicker than a normal fingering weight, but not by much. And it's 50% silk, 50% cotton. It's very soft, and I love the drape of it because it is quite heavy. It's lovely to wear. I've worn it a lot already. It's lovely to wear. It's not warm at all, and we've been having quite warm weather. And I've been able to wear it to work all day and feel very comfortable. So I would definitely recommend the yarn and the pattern as well. But I did wash it. I actually washed it in the machine on a wool cycle, and some of the color did just fade a bit. So just be aware of that. Probably just wash it by hand. The pattern is very straightforward. There's like, you get the help you need, but it's not as descriptive as some like English written patterns can be. So, but it's great, and I love my shirt. So that was a finished project as well. Then I showed you last time I've gotten the yarn to do a Look at My Holes by James N. Watts. And there's a Danish dyer called Monets Garden and a small maker called Deadly Daisies. They had a knit along, and I joined so I could knit my Look at My Holes by James N. Watts. I started before he came out with the update, so this is without any short rows or anything. It's just exactly to pattern. I followed very carefully, and I same size needle, everything. I knitted a size 3 as far as I remember, and I knitted it on a size 5.5 millimeter needle. It's knitted in this Erica Knight Studio linen yarn, which is 85% viscose, 15% linen. It is very comfortable to wear. I have worn it a couple of times already. I feel really comfortable in it. It's just the exact amount of heat you want. Sounds wrong when I say it like that, but I wore it over a tank top. We had a school function, summer party at night, or for an evening event. And we were outside. It was like a picnic sort of thing, and I didn't feel cold at all, even though it was quite windy. So yeah, I was really comfortable in this, and I can see it getting a lot of wear. And already thinking about doing another one, but doing it in like a regular Stockyard Movie, nylon blend, because I could see myself wearing it like for the season changing. So like early autumn would be perfect. Still haven't figured out if I am not that young anymore, but if I'm comfortable wearing it to work. I don't think so. It would be more of a social thing, but I love it. And when I was almost done with it, I just felt like it needed a buddy. And James and Watts and Jessie Maid did make the pattern as like a part of a set. And I knit this Ripple Bralette by Jessie Maid. And I knit a size 4, I think. This yarn is alpaca sock yarn from Ladybug, which is a Danish indie dyer. Again, I just follow pattern exactly. I used a size 3.5 millimeter needle, and I knit this in like 3 days. I don't know what happened, but if you can see, I'm thinking you can tell that this triangle is way different than this triangle. I have no idea what I did wrong, but when I wear it, it's not as visible. So I haven't bothered with ripping back. I would definitely make more of these. I would do it in like some silk for a very light summer one, and even a wool one or a sock one again, because I can see myself wearing these underneath, like to layer up in the winter, because they're very comfortable, and I'm not big chested, so I don't really need that much support. So yeah, it's really nice to wear, and fits perfectly under my, look at my holes. I did take some photos. I'll try to put those in so you can see. And this also I made there was a knit along, another knit along from Charlotte Horslev, which is a Danish podcaster. She's doing a knit along where you knit with like single skeins. That's, you know, you tend to buy single skeins because you just fall in love with their beautiful color or texture, and you just want them, but they are quite expensive, so you don't really want to buy a sweater quantity, and then you end up with a lot of single skeins lying around and don't really know what to do with them. So she's doing a knit along called Horslev's Fed, which is like single skein, fabulous single skeins, something like that. It doesn't really translate, but yeah. So I knit this as part of that knit along, and it's great for running around the house, just me. It's perfect. I love it. And I only used like half a skein, so I could easily have just knitted longer and it would have been like a tank top. And I really like these the straps, because usually with the tank tops it's I-cords and they tend to stretch really quickly, but this is actually a double knitted one. So they have, of course they have some give, but they don't stretch as much. And I can even imagine like knitting it thicker, like wider, so it would cover your bra. So I'm thinking I might do another one, maybe even with the leftover from this one. Yeah, well, that was it for my finished projects. And yeah, let's move on to my works in progress. So works in progress. I don't even remember if I talked about this one last time, but I definitely have showed either this one or the sleeveless version as part of my mesh minisode. But this is, and I really hope I don't lose any stitches. This is my, just a moment, it's big. This is my Rota Jumper by Irene Lynn. And it is beautiful. It is a mesh sweater. I'll put in some photos so you can see it. It's in this kind of lattice work construction. It's very oversized, and I've done the cropped version, but because of the yarn I'm knitting in a drops Paris, like 100% cotton yarn. It runs 75 meters per 50 grams, so it is thick. The pattern calls for worsted weight, and that fits, but I do think, I don't even remember what the suggested yarn is for this pattern, but this cotton, because it being worsted weight and 100% cotton, it's a heavy garment. It's gonna be really heavy. I haven't counted how many balls I've used already, but it was enough that the yarn is some yarn I found in my mother-in-law's stash. We bought it originally for, I think when my son was a baby, she was gonna knit him some, like a set, or yeah, something. She was gonna knit something. Maybe it was just pants. Because it's dark denim, I think the color is called. It does have that kind of denim-y feel, and yeah, I thought it would be really cool if he could have some pants that look like jeans. So she never got around to knitting it, and she asked me if I wanted to take a look at her stash, if there was like anything I could use, and of course there was, and I had already I'm so sorry, I just took a drink of soda. Okay, so, you know, I already had my eye on this pattern, and I thought the yarn would work like gauge-wise, and it does. And I have absolutely no worries about me wearing this because it is gorgeous and it's gonna be beautiful. But it is heavy, and it's gonna pull down. I think it's gonna stretch. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know if I'll like block it, but if I do, I'm gonna be really careful not to stretch it at all, because I knitted it to be cropped, and it's like hitting right at my hip bone, but I think it's gonna grow. So I'm gonna be careful. I just picked up for my first sleeve. I'm gonna be careful not to knit the sleeves too long. I think I'm gonna do them like, it's kind of difficult because you have the pattern, these like 4 holes and then a rib section. So I think as far as I remember the sleeves, because it's so boxy, the sleeves start like here, and then there are like 2 eyelet sections, or what you want to call them, and then a rib section. And I'm thinking I might just do 1 and then do a longer rib, so the sleeves will like be 3/4 length sleeves, so if they grow it doesn't really matter as much, because this is anyways, it's gonna be like a transitional summer or transitional wear. So it doesn't matter if the sleeves are a bit short. But yeah, I am on my first sleeve, and I'm thinking they won't take as long, because it's just going to be either 1 or 2 sections of the pattern. It did take a long time to get here. Maybe it didn't, but it feels like I've been knitting on this for a very long time. But it is because of the larger needles, the larger yarn, the thicker yarn. It can tend to be a bit hard, like on my hands. They get sore, so I can only knit on it for so long before I have to take a break. So, but yeah, can't wait to finish that one. What else am I working on? I also talked last time about doing a top for my daughter, my smallest daughter. She's turning 4 next month, and I wanted to do a summer top for her because she wanted something in this very colorful yarn she saw me knitting with, and I decided to do a top. Yeah, it is this top, but I've customized it. I modify everything, you know. This is the Svala top from Knit by Trine P. And this is how far I've gotten already. This is so this is the top. I haven't knitted it quite as long because I know my daughter won't like it if it's too long. She'll get annoyed with it. You're supposed to like do a folded over edge, so this is supposed to be like sewn down, but I decided to do it just like a rolled hem instead. And then there's this ruffle, which I didn't do as long as you were supposed to because I was afraid I was going to run out of yarn. It has this lovely little eyelet detail. Then you knit the back, which has this pattern. Can you tell? This needs to be blocked. And then you're supposed to start knitting from here the I-cord shoulders, the straps. As you can tell, there are two straps per shoulder. And I am thinking, bear with me here, I'm thinking I just didn't want to knit the I-cords. But my mother-in-law has one of those mills, you know, you just turn it and boom, an I-cord comes out, that I was going to do 2 I-cords in my main color, which is the pink. I have some here. This yarn. This is Yargan. It's a bamboo cotton blend, 70% bamboo, 30% cotton. It's very soft and slippery. But yeah, I was thinking I would do 2 I-cords in this one, and then 2 I-cords in my single merino here. This is actually not the same color as most of the body, because I ran out of that yarn already. But this yarn is in the ruffle and the back, but you can't really see the difference because it's very similar. This is again something I stole from my mother-in-law. But yeah, I was thinking I would do 2 I-cords in this yarn and 2 I-cords in like a double of this, because I don't think they need to be that long, the I-cords, not as long as in the pattern anyway. I think if they say it in be like 15 to 20 centimeters, and I'm thinking 10, because although she won't wear it if it's too long here in the armhole. So yeah, I'm thinking like 12 maybe. So, and then do like 1 solid, 1 hand dyed per shoulder, and then just sew them on. But that was my thinking anyways, because I really don't want to knit the I-cords because I'm lazy. So yeah, but that's all I have left. So I just need to find some time to go over there and see if that'll work, and then sew it together. So she asked for the top. She asked for me to knit something in that yarn. I showed her that I was starting on it, and she said no. So she might not even want to wear it, but now I am finishing it. So let's see. I had a thought with the yarn, because that is bamboo cotton blend. Look at my holes, the linen. This yarn was not fun to knit with. It was because it has no elasticity at all. It's very tough on my hands. Really tough. Love the finished project. I wouldn't knit with it again. It's just not that enjoyable. And I can find other linen yarns that are way more enjoyable to knit with. FYI. So another project you haven't seen at all is, because I was just so tired of knitting with summer yarns that was like hard, like cotton and linen. It was just tough knitting with it, and everything I had going was just on tiny needles, and yeah, it's killing my mojo. So I cast on, because we had a visit from my family from America, so they brought some yarn for me. They brought other stuff as well, but they did bring me some yarn. I purchased this myself. It is all from this guy, Arcane Fiberworks. He's from Canada, but I had the yarn shipped to Minnesota, and then they brought it for me. I got three skeins of DK weight merino nylon, and I cast on it. This is on a tie-in cable. I'm sorry, but I can't really do anything about it. And Ranunculus by Hidori Morosi. So, you know, I knitted this before as a t-shirt, and now I wanted to knit it as like a warmer weather sweater. Still, the gauge is like 14 stitches per 10 centimeters. So it's a very big gauge. So it's quite easy to modify. But I could tell when I started it that I think I started knitting the second size, but it was too big. So I finished some of the patterning, but I left out the last of it and decided to just like decrease a little and not pick up as many stitches for the sleeves either. And then I could tell I was starting to, like, I wouldn't get far, I would run out of yarn. So I am just like helical knitting the yarn. So when I changed colors, I just helical knit for a couple of rows. So it's easier to see in the sleeve here that this is actually one color. This is the second color, and it changes into the third color here. So it's almost striped. And same for the other sleeve. I finished the sleeves. I just did a rolled hem, and now my worry is I have this much left that it's not gonna be enough for me to finish it, because I'm only like right under my chest, and even though I would do it cropped, it still is like 20 centimeters, something like that, before it hits my hip bone. So I don't think this yarn, even though it's knitted very loosely, it won't be enough. So I love working on this because I just really needed some larger needles and some softer yarn, and I needed wool and sweater and everything that's just so comforting about knitting. So I love knitting on it, but right now it's gonna go on the shelf and wait with the rest of everything on the shelf for it to turn into autumn, because my mother and father-in-law are going to America in September, so I can get some yarn that they can bring home in September. So now I just have to figure out which color I'm going to get. These three colors are called Mystic River, The First Frost, and Glorious Garlic. And I have checked out the website. He has a purple one, just one color. And I'm thinking that would be perfect. And I might even pick up my sleeves and knit them longer as well with the purple. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. But right now it's going to the shelf. I've been knitting it on these new needles. It's a 5.5 millimeter needles. These were brought to me from the States as well. It's Lantern Moon. If you don't know them, they are, is it ebony wood? And they're gorgeous. I wanted to try them because I have been struggling with metal needles on the larger size knits, that it hurts my hands. And I also have my C-knit, which are great. I do like working with them, but they are wood and they tend to grip onto the fabric. So these are, for me, the perfect blend between wooden and metal needle because they're so smooth. So smooth. Yeah, I really like them. I ordered 2 sets. So this is one set and I have another one and they're on my blanket. And I specifically bought them for the blanket because I was hurting my hands on the metal needles. Or that wasn't even, was it the metal needles or the C-knit needles? No, I think it actually was C-knit needles on my blanket before. But it just wasn't working. So I really like these. I am getting more. They do have a tiny, like, can you hear it? Where you assemble them. But yeah, they rotate as well, like the C-knit. And yeah, I love them. I will be getting more, that's for sure. Definitely. So last thing as a work in progress is a pair of socks. These are gonna be, do I have a picture? I think I do. But it's black and white, so it's not that great. This is Summer Solstice socks by Sari Nordland. She every year, at least for like 3-4 years now, more than that. Well, she does summer sock knit along, where she releases a new pattern for June, July, August, September, and then you knit the pattern she releases every month. I don't know if I'm going to do all of them, but I wanted to do the first one. If you know Sari Nordland, she is very much about the cables. So of course this is a very cabled, very intricate sock. So this is only my first sock and today is the 16th of June. So I have to hurry up. I should have finished the first sock by now. But yeah, who cares? I think it's fun. I like knitting it. I think it's fun because I get totally absorbed into the project because I can only like do one row at a time. It's better now where I'm doing my, this is a heel flap and gusset. I'm still on the like decreasing, and it's easier when I only have to do the cabling for one part of the sock. Goes by a bit faster anyways, but still it takes up a lot of headspace. So this isn't something I can do with the kids running around. I have to wait till they're asleep and I have maybe 30 minutes to work on it. So it does take a while. But I'm really loving it. I am quite worried because my tensioning with socks and yeah, color work's just not happening right now. But I think even with this cabling is a bit off. So I was kind of afraid that would be too small. I can't get it on. I tried, so it'll be fine. I am actually working with yet another new set of needles that I got from America. These are higher sharps. They are like my Addy Trio Nubbles. These are a set of 3 where it has this kind tiny cable in the middle, and then you knit like almost like magic loop or small circumference needles. You knit like, yeah, this has 60 stitches, so 30 on one needle, 30 on the other, and then you just change with the third needle every time. But this is great. I really like them. I couldn't get my Addy Nubbles with a 2.25 millimeter. This is a 2.25. They work. They're great for the cabling because it's easier to get a hold of the yarn. But I will say, when they call them higher sharps, they call them that for a reason. They are very, very pointy. They sometimes get like between the yarn and split it, which is quite annoying. But yeah, I just have to get used to them, I think. And I have poked my finger a couple of times and it almost like bled. They're very pointy, but I like them. And then I just wanted to show you, to do the cabling, I've been using, this is a Cocoa Knit, like an open stitch marker. So it looks like this little curl. Can you tell? I can't figure out. Maybe like that. So it's open. So when I do the cabling, I'll just put the stitches that is going on the, like in front or on the back on this one, because when it's so tiny, I just didn't have any cable needles that were small enough. They were getting in the way and just didn't work. But this works. And the pattern even has like wrap 3s, still works. So just a tip, stitch markers as cable needles. Who knew? Yeah, because I was actually using this extra needle I had. This is a bamboo chagu fixed circular needle. I was using this as the cable needle, but yeah, it's just really getting in the way. So stitch markers. Yeah, so that was it for the works in progress. And I'm thinking we'll just slide right into the next on the needles part. So I've actually, maybe because the summer, the heat, and the knitting mojo was just not that great. I haven't made that many plans. I've kind of felt like slowing down, not having as many like works in progress. That was kind of like part of me allowing myself to put stuff aside and say, I don't have to think about these projects till like autumn. So right now I'm working on, yeah, like 4 projects at a time, no more than that. And with that came the realization that I was just like constantly figuring or getting new ideas or wanting to work on new projects. And yeah, so I'm kind of trying to slow that down. So thinking about what's to come next is pretty much the same things as I talked about last time. I have the Best Vest by James N. Watts that I got yarn for. We've been thinking about doing that as a knit along for my own knitting group, and we might do it for the summer holidays. That was what we were thinking about. If we don't, that's going to be for the autumn. Then because the yarn from my Rota Jumper from Irene Lynn, actually my mother-in-law, she had 2 colors. She had this color and then the darker color. And my first plan was just to do the sleeves in this color. But then I ran out of yarn already before just after I split for sleeves. So I could tell that it would be like, I don't think it would look very well or very good if it had a different color sleeves, but also a different colored lower part. I don't know. I wanted it to be one solid color. So that left what to do with this yarn. And the first one of these Rota by Irene Lynn that I actually fell for was the sleeveless top. And I saw that Jonna from Knitting with Kim and Jonna, she did actually the Rota sleeveless top. And I still might like to knit that. So I do have enough yarn, I think, to do the top in this color. But I might need a break from it when I finish my sweater before I start that. So it might just be an idea for next summer, and then just hang on to the yarn till then. No rush. Then I did buy this pattern book by Monets Garden. This is, I haven't actually gotten these like books before, where you can only buy these if you buy yarn. That's just how Sandnes works. But I saw this top, just gonna make some noise. I saw this top, which is called a Camisole Long by Monets Garden. And I just fell in love with it. I think it's so gorgeous. And I was like, if I'm gonna knit a tank top this year, this is gonna be it. So I wanted yarn for this, and I thought this would be like the perfect occasion to actually get some Sandnes yarn. I haven't knitted with it before, but I got this tynd line from Sandnes yarn in this beautiful like beigey light brown color. I don't remember what it's called, but I think it is the one on the picture. So I got that so I could, knit that. Again, might not happen. Might have to save that one for next year because I'm running out of knitting time. But yeah, when I got the book and saw the other patterns in the book, I was like, yes, this was a really good purchase. I saw this tee, the striped one, gorgeous, and even some of the sweaters. This one, I might knit that one. Gorgeous as well. Really nice. Beautiful tees, beautiful patterns. Lots of lovely summer knits. And yeah, I'm definitely happy I got this one. That would work for next year as well. So, what else did I get? Sorry, what else is, I moved you guys. Are you there? Let's just check you out. Are you with me? Good. Okay, so one thing that is definitely gonna be on my needles is my this is Uldnelykkepiller tea. I don't remember what it's called in English. Muscle tea, I'm thinking not. It's by Lene Holm Samsø, or Knit. She always does this sort of summer tea pattern with the holes, and for the last 2 years, 2 years, I've knitted the t-shirt as a part of my summer break, and now it just feels like a tradition. So I got some drop spell, which is like Line by Monets Garden. Has exactly the same content. It's linen, it's viscose, it's cotton, and this is like it's quite a difficult color to explain because it looks like putty kit, something whitish beige, but it has a really beautiful green tint, so almost like light mint. It's really beautiful. But yeah, so this t-shirt is definitely gonna be on my needles. I bought the yarn for it, and it's coming to the summer house with me. I might start knitting on it before we leave, just because if I get all the other projects finished, I don't want to start on anything else. But yeah, let's see. I got that. And then when I couldn't knit any longer on my ranunculus, I was like, I need a sweater. But I also wanted it to be like a summer sweater. So I was watching again, in Nille's podcast, Danish podcast, I mentioned her earlier. She knit her summer blouse, this one that I knitted. She knitted in cotton yarn, and she was just raving about this yarn. She got it from Knit by Heart, the store, and I was like, I have to try that yarn. So I got this yarn. It's Lana Grossa Elastico. And I got it in this beautiful baby blue, and it is really soft. I can see what Nille was talking about, because it is cotton. It doesn't have that much stretch, but it is very soft, and it does feel different than other cottons, I will say. It has a 4% polyester mixed to it, and maybe that's what kind of gives it this, yeah. It's really, really soft. Can't wait to start knitting with it. And I am going to knit a outline raglan by Jessie Maid. I love that shirt. I've been wanting that sweater for a long time. And with the open neck, it is more leaning towards summer, so it would be perfect for a cotton yarn. So that's what I'm gonna do, a cotton sweater. And I can't wait to start this, but it's definitely gonna be this year. This one is one I'm gonna prioritize. I'm gonna knit this year. Yeah. So other purchases. That's all we have left. That was it for, yeah, that was it for plans. And you did see some of my purchases, so we're just going to segue into purchases, because you saw I already got the Uldnelykkepiller and the drop spell and the Elastico. So what else did I buy? Oh yeah, and all my needles. I got, of course, my yarn club from Knit by Moltrup, which I get every month. It's like a subscription. This is her Game of Yarns yarn club, and this colorway is called the Capital, and it is beautiful. It's like peachy, light brown, purpley, bluey, all sorts of colors. If you've seen Game of Thrones, you totally get the inspiration for this one. I think it's really gorgeous. I am, however, starting to sense a pattern with the mini skeins. Brown, 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 brown. Which is fine. And would make it perfect for doing one project with the contrasting yarn. So yeah. Game of Yarns. Then I got, along with these Pride rainbow yarn for my June socks, I also got this one from a Lonely Sock Lady. This is the autumn rainbow one, and it's gorgeous. This is gonna hang around for when it's autumn. I don't know if I'm gonna do it in October, because I'm definitely gonna want to do like a Halloween one, but maybe in September. Look at the green. It's gorgeous. Can't wait to do that. So, almost to the end, you guys. You heard me last time talking about how I have gotten 2 skeins more of this beautiful one. So, this yarn is by, you know her, because I talk about her a lot, my fave, Uldnelykkepiller. How would you translate that? Woolly happy pills? Well, anyways, I got 2 other skeins of this, and they're so soft. It is silk, alpaca, and cashmere blend. It is 400 meters per 100 grams. So it does fit the gauge of a lot of tees, but I am still thinking a tee. I know that both cashmere and alpaca is quite hot, but it's just speaking to me to want to be a tee, but like a beautiful, flowy kind of tee you can wear going out to fancy dinner or something. The color is so gorgeous, and I still can't figure out which pattern I wanna knit with it. I've kind of maybe narrowed it down to 2. So either do a Cumulus tee by Petite Knit, which has everything I want in the tee because it is V-necked, but not too like low of a V. It has quite long sleeves, and it is like a little bit oversized, very flowy, very simple, but sophisticated. On the other hand, I could do an outline tee by Jessie Maed, which again has the V, is a little bit oversized. I could do it longer so it wouldn't be cropped. And it does have like a little edge because of the eyelets or the drop stitches down the neckline and in the middle. But still, I think it would be sophisticated enough that you could wear that to a fancy dinner and nobody would even think twice about it. But I don't know. So I'm kind of leaving it up to you guys. Could you please help me out and say what would be the perfect t-shirt pattern to knit with this gorgeous yarn? Because I need help. I've been looking so long, and it doesn't even have to be one of the 2, but just a beautiful, flowy, sophisticated t-shirt design. Hit me. Help me out, you guys. So that was kind of it. I feel like I've been talking for 5 minutes and still like 2 hours. So I hope you guys got something out of this. Oh my God, I forgot to say what I was wearing. So we'll do this at the end. This is my Twisted Tea shirt from Lil Wolf's Knits. I showed you this one last time because I finished it. The reason I am wearing it today is because I haven't worn it once, because I am finding it kind of difficult to like match with anything in my wardrobe, which I should have thought about, but you know, it was my Easter shirt. The color, I don't really have that much that goes with the color, and it is very cropped. So I want to wear it with a high-waisted pair of jeans or something, but my only high-waisted pair of jeans are way too hot to wear right now. So maybe when we get to like later in the year, I'll be able to wear it more, but right now I haven't worn it at all. So for you guys, I wore it today. So that was it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending time with me. Please leave a comment. I love it. Please follow on Instagram, where I am Knit with Lovergaard as well. I do have an old account that I was shut out of. If you follow along with Penrose Knits, Laura from Penrose Knits, she had the same thing happen to her, where she's just suddenly couldn't get into her account because of the 3-way recognition, something. And let's just say Instagram is not that much help. So I have 2 accounts that are very similar in the name. I don't even remember where I put the dash or the underline or whatever, but pick the one that's the most active recently and you'll be the right place. Yeah, follow along on Instagram as well. I would love to have you. Otherwise, it's here at the end. I normally don't really talk that much about life stuff. And I don't know if that's something you really want to see or not. I was just gonna say that June has been crazy and still is. We're only in the middle of it. We have so many commitments. I'm thinking it's maybe part of having 2 kids in school right now. We just have a lot of different school events and stuff to go to because it is almost the end of the school year. And then we have birthdays and we had family staying, and yeah, it's really busy. Work is busy. I come home and I am drained right now. Luckily, I do find some comfort in my knitting, even the more complicated knitting, actually, because then I don't think about all the other stuff. But it is harder to find knitting time, or maybe finding the headspace to knit. But anyways, I'm counting down the days till summer. Can't wait for my summer break. We're going to the summer house again this year, another summer house. It's just a rental, and going with my mother and father-in-law and the kids and my husband, of course. And I'm thinking about doing a vlog like last time where I did the summer socks. Maybe I'll do that again. I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out. But you'll definitely hear from me. I don't know if I'll be able to do another podcast before then, but you'll hear from me. So have a great summer. Have a great knit. Have a great summer. Have a wonderful time knitting. I hope you have just the kind of weather you want where you are. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.